Welcome back. Welcome back to a special episode.
Why do I start off laughing?
Because I'm mad funny. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Today we're talking narcissists. Narcissism. Recovering from narcissism. Is that possible? Is that a real thing? We're also going to discuss dating a narcissist. I did some research, and I have a list of 15 questions to test if you are married to a narcissist. First and foremost, welcome. Men Lie, Women Lie, and All Flowers Die, the podcast. I am Uncle Joe, my lovely host, Miss Les. Les came a little.
Do I get a welcome back this time? You always welcome. You're like, welcome back.
Welcome back. Where were you?
I wasn't anywhere.
You was on a hot date. So no welcome back, actually. Nah. No, welcome back. It's always welcome back. It's always a pleasure to see you. It's unfortunate that we record on a non-consistent schedule. We'll get it right. We'll get it together. At least we drop on a consistent schedule. Shout out to all the fans, everybody tuning in, everybody leaving comments. I love the comments I have. I love y'all. Y'all are the best. Y'all are super entertaining.
I got some really nice comments in the...
Some positive?
not positive, but they were like, oh, I feel her. On the last one that you posted on IG.
On your realization that it was time?
On my crying session.
I like that it was caught on camera. I like that when the light bulb went up over your head. It's a positive, don't?
No, of course.
It's a good thing. Shout out to that. I'm glad you weren't upset that I posted it.
No, I wasn't.
Good. I don't post, I'll always post shit to make fun of myself. I
remember when
so
you did ask me.
Of course.
Like, listen, if we're recording, right, I'm not going to hide it.
I wouldn't post something that is detrimental to your health, your mental health. That would be narcissistic of me, and I am no longer a narcissist. I think I was at one point. I think I was you told me earlier there's 3 steps or 3 different phases of narcissism or levels.
There's more, right? But the 3 most common ones, right? There's the overt, which is the grandiose, right? It's all about me. Like I told you, I think that's very Hollywood.
Right.
Then there's the covert, right, which is more your day-to-day people where to the outside world, he's a great guy, he's funny, he's cool, he's this, he's that. And then in a relationship, right, it's a little different. You see a different side of them. Right. And then there's malignant, right, which is the dangerous one, right, where it can get very physical, abusive.
Verbal.
That's a whole...
Well, that one you can tell by the name of it.
Like sociopaths and psychopaths, that's what they fall under.
They're on the path to a violent ending.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
So, malignant narcissists, stay the fuck away from them. Covert narcissists, you may not know it till it's too late. You may already be entangled in the web of deception and lies and gaslighting. And we're going to get to the term gaslighting in a second. And what was the other one? Hyper?
Overt, which is
overt,
the grandiose.
Yeah, like Hollywood. So that brings me to another not debate, I guess, but somewhere where I think sometimes narcissism is confused, right? Some people are just overly confident, and when they walk into a room, they may not be seeking attention, but because they have an aura of confidence and just an aura of star, a star is born, you don't people right. do, but stars are not made per se. Stars are born. So when a star enters a room and they have that charisma and stuff, it's not that they are narcissistic. It's just that they have the aura, they have the glow, like the last dragon glow.
There's nothing wrong with being a confident person. If you're not confident in yourself, right, who's going to do that for you? You should be confident. It's different when you think that the world revolves around you, right? And the biggest thing with narcissists is that they lack empathy.
See, that's where I struggle. Empathy. Sometimes I lack empathy. Depending on the situation.
If you can't see something from someone else's point of view, right? Someone else's feelings, that means you lack empathy.
I think I lack empathy sometimes because I feel people put themselves in situations and then are reactionary to it. And like, if it didn't work out for them, or like, I can't feel bad for a group of billionaires that went down in a freaking submarine to look at some boat that crashed 30 years ago. Like, that's your pleasure, that's your fun, and then the shit didn't work and you died. I don't necessarily feel bad for y'all.
Right.
Is that narcissistic or?
No, I mean, but it does suck. Can you admit that, damn, it sucks, right? Like, you lost your life for something. I mean, that's like people that go skydiving.
People
right?
die every
like,
day. Yeah, if you go skydiving.
I went skydiving, right? It would suck if I fucking hit the floor. Right?
Yeah,
I would hope that somebody would be like, damn,
suck.
she's just trying to enjoy life, right? And do something different and experience, and she fucking hit the floor. Like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah,
No,
it would
like-
suck. But you still chose it. You still
Of
chose
course,
life
but
on the
we
floor.
choose to go outside if we get hit by a car.
Well, that's different. You didn't choose to get hit by a car.
didn't
You chose to
choose.
jump out of a plane.
Right, and in hopes that my freaking parachute would be working, right? All right, so you cross the street in hopes that you don't get hit by a
Well,
car.
I guess. Let's go down. I have the 9 symptoms of a narcissistic personality. And I want to go through them. See if that's actually a symptom of a narcissist, or it's just some misunderstood confidence. I think if this was court, I'm debating inside of them. I want them to be better understood and less villainized, right? So number 1, sense of self-importance. I don't think that's a narcissistic trait. I think we all should have a sense of self-importance. I think that's part of being confident. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know your purpose, know what you're here for, what is important to you, and what of importance can you bring to something.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, narcissist trait number 1, you're false.
No, I do agree with that, but we all have a little bit of narcissistic traits, right? I'm
Absolutely.
sure we can all go down that list, and I'm sure there's a little more to that, and check off, okay, I have that. Okay, I have that.
So I think with a narcissist, it's the extremity of it. It's that they take it to an extreme.
Yep.
So let's say number 2, preoccupation with power, beauty, or success. Again, we all should have some sort of preoccupation with not necessarily power, but I believe with success comes some form of power.
Absolutely.
If you're successful at something, you're going to have power in that field. Preoccupation with beauty, that's one, but more so as a man, you know, that we got our haircuts, of course, but we're not spending 4 hours to do. Well, I speak for an older generation. I don't know, these younger cats, do your thing, but they may spend a little more time on the beautification face process or whatever.
I think that's more like on the grandiose, right? The Hollywood.
The extreme.
The extreme, yeah.
How about entitlement? I think I struggle. I think.
How so?
Yeah, cuz fuck out of here. Give me everything. I deserve it all. The world is mine. But
why?
is that narcissism, or were we just raised on Tony Montana?
Why do you feel you deserve it all?
Why wouldn't I? Why shouldn't I?
What have you brought into this world? What have you done
This
to
majestic
earn
creature
that?
right here that cannot be duplicated or imitated. There is only one of this.
Sally, thank God you got me these because
But I say that jokingly, but with a tinge of seriousness. Because I mean, I think we should all feel entitled, bro. We shouldn't. What is the opposite of entitlement? Undeservingness.
yeah, I guess.
So should
But
we
I
be?
think there
Should we feel undeserving?
But like entitlement,
I'm entitled
right?
to
Like
a good
if you-
life.
Right, but you have to work for it.
Of course, I didn't say I wasn't, but
So-
I'm entitled to it. I
but
should feel entitled to it.
There's certain things that I feel like narcissists just feel entitled across the board. Whether
Like they shouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah, maybe not, because I think a lot of them would be hardworking, but I think that they feel that they deserve a certain type of person, a certain type of, like, what are you giving in return?
So would the narcissist not give in return?
I mean, we could talk about that when we get to the part of being in a relationship with a narcissist, right?
All right. To stay in entitlement in a second, for a second. If you had a choice, would you stick with the life you were born into, or would you rather have been born into a rich family where you really didn't have to do shit and you could choose to work if you could?
If I can go back and know what I know now,
Yeah.
like take the knowledge with me,
Yes.
I would keep the same life.
Oh, hell no.
I would.
No. Okay.
I would.
That's what's up, but I wouldn't. No, thank you. If I could choose not to
I
work
would,
and just
because
be
it's made me
ballerific.
But think about it. How ungrateful would you be if you just are in your
No, but I
born
took the
into
knowledge.
wealth,
You said we're taking
right?
the knowledge that we have. So I
You
have the
still-
knowledge of poorness and brokenness.
No. I mean the knowledge of like what you've learned along the way, the type of person you've become, right? Like your experiences are what make you.
All right, but I'm taking that
become,
knowledge
right?
with me. So I already went through all that shit. Now I get to choose to be rich and I can
Then I get.
recall.
Then I guess, yeah.
Is that
I just don't
entitlement?
ever want to feel ungrateful for what I have, you know. And I feel like if you don't work for it, you're not gonna appreciate it as much.
Right, but you said we got to take back our memories, so I remember.
I didn't say memories. I just said like
Our
the knowledge, right?
The
Like,
knowledge is we know we
like-
worked our asses off already. Let's enjoy the rich life. Nah, number 4. Can only be around people who are important or special.
You know, I don't
That
know
one
if
I gotta say, yeah.
Really,
I
don't
think that
know
one's
if
very
I see
narcissistic,
that
yeah.
as a.
That's like you won't hang out with your
narcissistic
friends if they're not
trait.
like popping or important.
So you won't hang out with your friends, but I mean, who?
No, I think this is a narcissistic trait. I hang out with anybody. I'm not judgmental. You don't have to be a millionaire to hang out with me. Who knows if I've ever
But I
even
think
hung
that
out with them.
depends on, right? Like I think back to like narcissists that have been in my life, and I think that's I don't know, a little subjective, like, or maybe they feel they're too good to hang out with certain people. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I could see
think
that.
that one
I
is
could
true.
see that. They're
Like, oh, I'm not hanging out with them. They
especially like the
broke- some
coverts, right?
brokies.
They're a little bit more of loners. But it could be, right? Possibly because they think they're too good to hang out
But
with
to
anybody
debate that,
else.
could it be that they just have excelled and achieved a level of inner success that maybe, for example, I don't know if this relates, right? But like, I won't eat white rice and eggs.
You too good for that?
Yeah. Like, I refuse. I'd rather not eat. Not even saying that I'm too good for it, but like,
I will
it
eat
makes
white
me
rice
feel
and eggs.
broke. It makes me
I
feel like a
will eat
brokey.
Tuna.
Oh, I'll eat
will
tuna.
eat-
Hell yeah, I'll eat tuna. I'll eat tuna out the can before I eat some white rice and eggs. But
I mean, maybe
because it
it
reminds me
takes
of a
you
time,
back,
yeah, of
right?
like not having a
But
choice
you
and
see,
just being broke.
I see it as like that just brings me back to my childhood, and I don't. I
But
I
you
am who
enjoyed
I
it as
am
a
because
child.
of my childhood.
Did you?
Right?
Oh, better yet, that's a question. Did you enjoy it as a child?
Yeah.
White rice and eggs? See,
definitely.
no, I didn't enjoy it. When that came out, I knew it was like, oh, we ain't got no meat. We on some broke shit today. Nah, I ain't fucking with y'all.
You know, I never thought of it that way. I don't feel like my mom ever, like, I think of it now and I'm like, shit, my mom never made us feel like we didn't have enough.
No, my parents didn't make me
No?
feel like we didn't have enough. That was the narcissist within me. Like, yeah, gross. Like, you disgust me. And I tell anybody this, I don't care. And people fuck with me because of it. Like I have a homie who was who I worked with who was I used to report to him. And he'll send me, like, when he makes white rice and eggs in the crib, because he tells me, I make it for my kids all the time. They love it. He'll send me the picture. And I'll be like, oh, y'all on some broke shit. And he's a baller. He flies planes and shit. Like, but to me, that will always equate to that. So I think, like,
You know what? After this, I'm going to go make some white rice and eggs. I
don't
need
invite me.
I need the protein.
Yeah, don't invite me. I'd rather just eat 2 hard-boiled eggs, plain. Or if you, I don't know, give me, at least throw a little bit of salchicha in there, something, a little bit of bacon, anything, something fake, so I pretend it's a piece of meat, some vegan meat. I don't care, an olive, no, not an olive, some kind of meat, whatever. Don't invite me over for no white rice and eggs, never in your life. In fact, if I'm ever in your house and you want me to leave, start making it. You don't even have to tell me, like, yo, I'm cooking you want now. I'm out, kid.
So you're too good.
Not saying I'm too good. It reminds me of a time period that I feel I have risen beyond.
Fair enough.
Now let's go to number 5. Interpersonally exploitative for their own gain. I have to debate this one because people are to be used, and not in a negative way. We all are used. If you're not usable, you are useless. So we use people for what we use them for. That doesn't have to be negative. You might use somebody as a friend. You might use somebody as a support team.
Yeah, but if you read up on narcissism, right, one of the things narcissists will use you for is like your status, your money.
Is this narcissism or is this smart business? If you get with a girl who's the CEO of whatever, and she's able to plug you into a network of successful people
but if you're using
where you're now able to grow.
But there's a difference if you just happen to be with this person and you get those benefits out of it, right? But
no, you do it on purpose to use her.
That's fucked up.
Is it, or is it a smart business move? Is it a smart financial decision?
That's lacking empathy, because now you're using somebody. You don't know how that's gonna. This person's falling in love with you, and
what if you're okay? Like you're playing along. What if you fall in love with her too?
To what you're saying?
No, I am. That's fucked up. My bad. I'm bipolar, y'all. Gotta go in and out of the narcissist game. What if there is emotional bond and connection, and you're also falling in love with her, but you're also
if your intention, I think, right, and I could be totally wrong, so please let me know if I am. But I think if your intention going in is to use somebody.
It's a narcissist.
Yeah. Now, if you are dating somebody and you guys catch feelings and you just happen to get these benefits, right? Because it's a perk. Then I think that's normal, right? Even for women. If you're dating a guy that happens to have status, but if you went in with the right intentions, I don't think that's narcissism. I think you're just reaping the benefits of being with someone that has that success, right?
I get it. So it's all about intention.
Yeah, like, come on. If you date a girl, if you meet a girl and you're just like, yo, she's the CEO of this, she got this, and your intention is to reap some of those benefits, that's
I've never done that. I have friends who'll be like, yo, you don't ask girls for money? Like, I'll be like, ask girls for money.
I mean, that
dudes
kind of
do that.
Goes to like the beta, alpha, right? Masculine, feminine.
Betas ask for bread and alphas don't. I feel like some guys might consider it an alpha move to get bread off a chick.
No, because if you're in your masculine, you're the provider, not the receiver. Come on, we talked about this.
Dudes, not to veer off, but dudes don't understand that. They think it's a come up. Dude, stop asking girls for money, bro. I had a girl give me money one time, a long time ago. I went to visit her, and when I was leaving, she was like, yo, here's $20 for gas money. Or you like?
I would have taken that. Like,
I took it. Low key, I took it because I needed the gas. But I felt kind of like
I would have been a little insulted.
Like purchased.
I would have been like, I can't afford my own gas.
I felt like a little prostitute-ish.
I mean, I guess it was a nice gesture. Right?
She did it with the purest of intent.
Yeah,
It was a long drive, and she wanted me to get home safe and make sure I had gas. But something within me was like, this is weird. So when guys tell me, I met this girl, I hit it, I asked, she gave me $200. But like, that's crazy to me. That blows my mind.
I would have been like, $200, that's all my penis was worth.
Yeah.
If I was a dude, right? That's like the ego, the ego talking. Like, that's it, $200?
Yeah, I'm insulted with your two bills. Like, bust out two racks or something. At least 2 racks. I did the helicopter thing. No. Number 6, arrogant. Arrogant. I battled with arrogant a lot because there is such a thin line between confidence and arrogance, and it's so often confused. I understand why it's on the list, and I get that narcissists can be very arrogant, but some people are just confident. Some people just believe in themselves and know, like, yo, whatever the situation is, I'm cool as shit, and that's what it is. So I'll agree with it, but with the understanding that it's easily confusable.
Right.
You got to be confident, guys. You have to believe in yourself.
Absolutely. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to do it for you. But again, my stomach was growling. I don't know if you guys caught that. I don't know if you guys caught that, but
See, when you out late dating, you don't get home early and eat breakfast.
Anyways, now I lost my train of thought. Go ahead. Go on to the
arrogance you were saying, and the confidence, and we all have to be confident. We all have to be self-confident, and it can't go
again, it's am I confident or is it to the point like everything revolves around me, right? That goes back to that.
What about these self-affirmations that are so popular nowadays? They teach you to be confident and almost ultra confident. So are we being taught conflicting ideologies of be mega confident, but don't be a narcissist? But to be a narcissist, you have to be extra it can almost be confusing.
But again, right? Everybody has narcissistic traits.
Right.
We all have some of them. It's just, and I mean, it's a personality disorder. And you have to be diagnosed for that. Like, I think people use that term very loosely, like, oh, because he's all about himself, he's narcissistic, right?
That's what I think.
It's definitely used very loosely.
Right.
But number one, it's a little difficult to diagnose someone as narcissistic.
You just taught me today that that's even a diagnosable thing. I didn't know that was actually classified as some type of illness or disorder. That's crazy.
Yeah. And you have to be medically diagnosed, right? It's not just like, I think we label people as narcissists because of, they're this, they're that, they're narcissistic. No.
So one day you said that I was self-labeled narcissist, but I wasn't self-labeled. I was labeled.
But by who? Not a medical professional.
Oh, no, please.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be medically diagnosed.
Right. So that's new. And I don't know. I don't know if I 100% agree with it, because a good narcissist can fool even a doctor, and he won't be diagnosed as shit, and he'll really be the real deal.
I mean, I mentioned it earlier, right? A lot of like therapists and psychologists say that there's very, very little improvement when they're working with a client who's narcissistic.
Right.
Like they can never be fully not narcissistic. It's like if they're at this level, they can get them down to like this level, and that's it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like if that patient is a really good narcissist, he'll fool even the therapist and have them questioning their own shit.
Don't gaslight them.
Have the therapist like, yo, is it me? Am I tripping?
That's why every therapist needs a therapist.
Absolutely. Let's go to number 7, lack empathy. We spoke about that. Number 8, must be admired. Don't we all want to be admired? In a sense?
I want to be admired by the people that I care about, right? Like, right. But I don't need that admiration.
Even from the people you care about?
It's nice, but I don't need it.
How about if your kids never showed you any admiration? You don't need it?
Yeah, no, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
You're a narcissist. I'm a label. Nah. No. I think what they mean is must be admired by everybody. Yeah. And they kind of like push it. And also, I believe narcissists seek admiration for accomplishing very little.
Yeah.
And number 9 is envious of others or believe that others are envious of them.
Yes. Narcissists are very, very insecure. And I think that's why they're so, they try to give this perception of being all this confident, this confident person to the extreme, because they're trying to hide those insecurities that they have.
Right. But you ever heard the saying, it's something like the loudest guy in the room is usually the most insecure, something to that effect?
Yeah. I mean, I think didn't we talk about this? Like the people that show off all this money and stuff like that, they really are broke, the broke ones.
Well, yeah. No, but I'm talking more so like attention seeking, mm-hmm. the loud, brash, egotistical.
But some of them are
person in the party. There's normally one there, and you can spot.
Yeah. Oh, of course, and that's usually the guy that I'm like, I don't even want to pay attention to, right?
Exactly.
Like I'm like, oh, he wants all the attention, right? And I usually tend to go for the guy that's not talking, that's like in the corner. That
be the trap.
I've learned.
That be the trap, y'all. If you know spiders, that be the web that's gonna trap your ass.
I've learned the lesson.
As the quiet guy in the corner, trust me, that be the trap, y'all. It's a setup. There's a movie, that somebody was like, you got to watch out for the quiet guys. And then somebody is speaking to 3 men, and they're like, you got to watch out for the quiet guys. And one of them is like, and if you notice, I ain't said shit in about 10 minutes. But it be the trap, y'all.
Yep.
I speak for the former narcissist. It's a trap, y'all. It's done.
So wait,
it's done with very careful planning
what
to be
makes you
so
a
quiet.
former
Because I'm healing. You stated that once you are diagnosed narcissist, you can't be healed. So I guess I can't be a former narcissist. But
I mean, there hasn't
sometimes
been
you reach like
there hasn't been. Yes, there hasn't. I guess I don't want to say fully healed. You can become a better version.
Well, wouldn't it be narcissistic of me to say I'm the first fully healed
Yes,
narcissist? I just think you reach a point where you start realizing, especially if you actually like study and read and start looking and be like, damn, at times in my life I was entitled more so than I deserved for whatever I had done. Like I was expecting things to be handed to me or given to me without putting in the work. I was exploitative of people, whether it was for personal gain, physical gain, whatever. A trait of a narcissist that's not on this list, and it might be in a way, right? Because to be truly exploitative, a narcissist will use women strictly for sex and not be empathetic of how they feel or what they feel after or what they felt before or if they're going to grow attachment or emotions. That shit means nothing to us. That is unimportant to us. We're trying to get our nut, and it don't matter. When I say us, I don't mean me. I mean y'all, them. So when you start realizing these things and you realize like nobody deserves that, bro. And I think sometimes you realize it when you're put in the other position. So if you're the user and one day you get used, and not to be that specific, but like let's say you're the dude and things happen and then shorty bounces and you're laying there with the cover up like, yo, but you leaving? And she's like, yeah. And you're like, wow, you're not even gonna cuddle. And then she bounces and you start feeling the other side of the, not saying that ever happened, but you start feeling the other side of the equation, and that's when you start building empathy, and you're like, wait a minute, you can't do that to people. You can't do that to women. As a man, you shouldn't do that to women.
I mean, women shouldn't. Women are narcissistic as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I think that's
just,
growing. I think women are becoming more narcissistic as times pass, and I also think the roles are beginning to reverse, to where they're more the user or the alpha, the hunter, and guys are like being hunted. Guys, be safe out there, y'all. Protect yourself. Protect your heart. Let's get into 5 habits of a narcissist. This will be similar to the 9 symptoms, right? So number 1 is an inflated ego, which again, it's beyond confidence. It's
correct. It definitely is. It's like
it's ugly.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Even for dudes to see it in women.
Yeah, like you're giving yourself an importance that is like really like humble yourself.
I was watching a video yesterday. Somebody got pregnant by somebody, and she was like, once I found out I was pregnant, that was it. I ain't working ever again in my life. Boom, boom, boom. He got to give me $50,000 a year, a month, $50,000 a month, child support, this and that. I'm about to make an OnlyFans, boom, 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 and it's like, damn, don't you want that? Like, you're good. That's it.
That falls under where is it? When you're using people.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The exploitative for their own gain. Then we got the lack of empathy, the need for attention, repressed insecurities. I think we breezed over that, but I think that's really important too. I think we were talking about not trauma. We were talking about narcissism and how it could possibly be hereditary or it could be formed in childhood.
Yeah, I was reading online where it says there's no proof, right, that it's not hereditary, and there's no proof that there is. Like, studies haven't been able to prove that. But they do know that, right, it could come from your childhood, right? Either your parents showed you way too much, I don't want to say importance, right? But kind of
yeah. Too much love, yo. I feel like I told this to an ex-girlfriend once, like, yo, you're giving that kid too much love, bro.
Or the other way around, right?
I don't know if that was right or wrong, guys. Please don't kill me in the comments.
No, like, I mean, and I think of my son, my little one, and he's very hard on himself, right? So I always tend to, he'll draw a picture and I'm like, oh my God, that's the best one. That's this. And then sometimes I have to catch myself, right? Because then he'll be walking around the room with like this chip on his shoulder.
A chip? Why?
Right? Like you
an
know,
inflated ego?
Yeah, like you know, like, oh yeah, I'm the shit, you know, and I'm like, oh my kid, hold on, let me bring you back down.
The picture wasn't that good now.
No, but I do it right. I think of it as like positive reinforcement, but there's also a thing of too much, right? Where where you have to know, like, yeah, it's great, but it may not be the best, and that's okay. Right? It's okay to come in, you know, second place, right?
Yes.
Not, you want to strive for first, right? But you're not always going to come in first.
Right.
And I think that's where I'm trying to find the balance, because I think back and I'm like, shit, I'm creating like a little narcissistic little.
Yes. So that's what I was going to say as far as the hereditary thing. I don't know if it's hereditary. I don't know if I'll agree with that, because I don't think two non-narcissists will necessarily raise or create a narcissist. But I do think if the parents are narcissistic because of the way the child views their behavior and watches it, it's more likely that they may show more narcissistic traits. But actually, now that you say your story, two non-narcissists can absolutely create a narcissist if they love that. And not love is the wrong word, but if they blow that kid up
you
beyond.
Praise him, you know, more than, and I think that's a lot nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that.
Even in like sports, right? Like before in sports, if you didn't get first place, you weren't getting a trophy, right?
Perfect
so you had to humble yourself, right? Like, fuck, next time, you know, we're gonna go for first. Now it's like you get a participation trophy, right? Like, so it's like, okay,
that's pathetic.
Like, I feel like that adds to the.
Yeah, that's. I think that goes back to like a conversation we had on a previous episode where you can't just congratulate people for doing what they're supposed to do. If you sign up for a sport and you show up and you participate, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You signed up. You can't get a trophy and be made to think you're great when all you did was show up. Right. You know, but I think that's more a society thing. So could society be creating a whole generation of narcissists?
I think so.
I think
so. You mentioned earlier, right? The positive
with the seeking attention, with the entitlement, with the lack of empathy. So I was reading a story this morning about a teacher who actually quit like mid-lesson because she was telling the kids about the Holocaust. And they just don't know shit, first of all. So they're like, yeah, that was in the 1800s. That took place, whatever. And she's like, nah, y'all are bugging. And when she tells them they're wrong, they didn't even care. They wasn't like, so when was it? What did happen? They were just like,
it's also like the new generation with working, right? They don't want to work. They're like, oh, if I'm not getting paid this, and that, and I don't get to, you know, Monday through Friday, and I get to leave at 3:00, and I get summer hours, and I'm like,
that's that entitlement.
Fuck?
But you know, I kind of respect it though.
So do I. Like,
I was thinking about that yesterday. Yeah.
To fucking, you know, to be able to do that. Not me.
I was thinking about it in reference to something else, right? So now the kids, they use the word cap and they call cap.
Lying.
Right? Yeah. So if you say something right now, I could be like, that's cap.
Yeah.
And they'll call you out on your bullshit. Back in the day, that didn't happen as easily or as flowing or as just like back in the days, if you said something and I was like, yo, you lying. Like, we might have to fight because you going to be offended. Now it'd just be like, oh, that's cap.
I learned that word from my son. He was like, you capping. And I was like, I'm what? Yeah. The fuck does that mean?
But I love that they call each other out so easily. Shout out to my bro, Claude, who he was like, he posted a video and he was like buying some bud. You know, bud is legal now, whatever.
Right.
And the guy, he's like, how much THC is it? And the guy tells me, like, that's cap. Like, imagine telling your bud, man, like, yo, you lying. You should trash, nigga. Fuck out of here. So I respect that about them, and I love that they don't care about loyalty to a job that is not loyal to you. They're flipping the script.
But I also feel like, right, they're also not willing to put in the work.
Well, that's the entitlement of it.
Yeah. Like,
they want to be paid top tier salary for low tier performance.
Exactly.
And that goes back to their upbringing, and it's a whole societal shift that's going on, and social media is playing a big part in it. And everyone now feels that they are Hollywood, or they're a star. They got their YouTube channel, they got their Instagram, they're always on whatever camera, basically. So that's a little scary. I want you to take a quiz though. Because you said you had dated a narcissist previously?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he wasn't medically, because he would not go to a therapist.
So let's ask some questions. How long were you in this relationship?
was very short.
How long before you realized that he was a narcissist?
After the love bombing.
Okay, that's funny because number 3 on this list is were you love bombed?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna mark these off and I'm gonna say yes. You were
Absolutely.
love bombed. Okay, were you gaslighted?
Yeah, I actually mentioned it to you earlier. Like there was times that I would sit there and I'm like, what? Like, am I wrong in this situation? Like, yes, he would definitely, something would happen and I would call him out on it, right?
You'd be like, you capping?
Not like that, but you know, I would mention like, hey, listen, this was not cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this made me feel a certain type of way, and he would twist it in a way that I'm like, am I overreacting? Am I like, did it not happen that way? Like, I think if I would have continued, I would have ended up fucking like nuts.
So I believe we were having this conversation off air before we started recording. Could it, in defense of the narcissist, well, before I say that, can you give the definition of gaslighting and tell that little story?
Yeah, so it actually started,
again?
I think I said in the 1930s, right? It was like a British play or whatever. But what they used to do was, back in the days, the gas lanterns, the men would like dim the lights to kind of drive their women insane.
Mm-hmm.
So they would
dim the lights and deny it.
And right, they would dim the lights and it would make them flicker. And when the wife would be like, "Are the lights flickering? Or did you dim the light?" They would, no, to the point that the women were like, "Fuck, am I seeing shit?" Like, you know. So that's where gaslighting came from. So it's kind of to, you know, twist their reality.
So this
and that's like
phrase of gaslighting, like I had never heard of gaslighting till like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So I feel like the phrase re-entered the vocabulary of society. Is it that it was rediscovered, or?
I mean, it's
like,
been around.
Did someone realize, like, yo, this is happening to me and I don't know what it's called? Can I look it up? And they were like, oh, it's called gaslighting. And then they started sharing
maybe,
it.
But there's been movies made. Right? Like I think, so 1930s, it was like a British play. Then there was like a movie, I think in the 1940s, early 40s, in the UK. And then something in the... Yeah, I don't know where it started again, but it's definitely...
Somebody brought it back.
But it's definitely been around. We just...
In regards to gaslighting, could it be that maybe you just remember it one way and I just remember it another way, and my perspective is the correct one and yours is incorrect?
So that's the thing, right? So there's perception, absolutely, right? There's always going to be like 3 sides to a story, right? The way I see it, the way you see it, and then reality. Mm-hmm. But if you're trying to persuade me that your reality is what actually occurred, that's where the gaslighting...
What if it is, though? What if you got a bad memory?
You can't tell me how shit went down.
What if you got a bad memory?
I do have a bad memory, but...
So how do you know what you remember is correct?
But I know how things make me feel. And if I'm sitting there expressing to you how it makes me feel, and you're telling me, no, you're crazy because this, and that. Like, that's how I felt. Who are you to tell me that that's not how I felt?
No, you're correct. It's a manipulative strategy that narcissists use. I've used this strategy before. I've definitely gaslit women before.
Like how? Like
changing history or memories to more fit what I believed or to be true or what I felt to be true.
That worked in your benefit.
The manipulation was intended to work in my benefit.
Right.
Yeah.
So you twisted the story so that it worked in your benefit.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know if it absolutely worked. It probably worked for a few times. And
I mean, if you think
and then the word came back and people started getting smart and hip and shit. Like, come on, y'all. Keep shit on the low. What's up?
I think, right, after a while, like the first few times, you're probably like, nah, this dude's crazy. Like, you know, no, fuck that. You stand your ground. But after it happening over and over and over, you start to, like, yo, I caught myself at times, like.
Doubting yourself?
Yeah, like.
Even doubting how you remembered something?
Everything. Yeah. It's so, like when I think of being mind fucked, I was being mind fucked. Like, I
hate
think
that,
if I would have continued, I wouldn't even know what my reality was.
Right. I hate that therapists or psychologists have made mindfuck a negative thing. There was a song, I believe, by Dead Prez called Mind Sex, and it was about the mental connection that is superior to the physical connection.
Right. Yeah, I don't mean it in that.
Y'all
aspect, but-
made it ugly. Y'all made it ugly. So you were gaslighted. Did you
Yeah.
feel connected to him, to this person?
In the beginning, absolutely. I mean, I said it on other episodes, right? I felt like this is why I never worked out with anybody else.
Like during
Like,
the love bomb.
The love
phase.
bombing. Yep. And the thing is that the love bombing happens really strong in the beginning, right? And then, you know, shit starts to happen, but they always know
When
when to flip the switch for the love bombing again, right? And then
Maybe
because-
they're just free to love you again.
No,
Maybe they were
no,
busy.
No.
Oh my god.
Nah.
Maybe that's cap. That is mega cap. Did he hold grudges?
Oh yeah. He would throw shit in my face. Even shit that because he twisted the story to now things be my fault, and then he would throw that in my face.
Yeah.
And
I've
I'm
done
like,
that.
wait, but that's not even how it happened. And I'm like,
You
we
know,
did it.
one of the worst things in life is to sleep in a bed with someone and not speak to them. That shit is heartbreakingly sad, yo. And part of being a narcissist and holding grudges, that occurs. And you might spend a week in the same house with someone that you love dearly, and y'all might not say a word. And you'll be wanting to say so much, but that pride and that ego and that narcissist within you and that grudge holding, you just won't, you know, and that shit will be like torturous to both parties, you know what I'm saying? And the partner will be so upset that they'll participate in this disconnection. And yo, that shit's just whack, y'all. Like, talk it out, man. Y'all could be mad at each other and not talk to each other for 7 days because of a conversation that would have took y'all 7 minutes, and y'all could have squashed it.
I mean, I never lived with that particular person, right? So I think that maybe saved me a little.
Hell
right?
yeah.
But I know of people, right, where they lived with a narcissist, and you know, she would tell me, she was like, yeah, we've gone 2 weeks without talking. How do you go through your fucking house with
You know how
someone
intentional you have to be?
and you don't speak? I just can't even imagine that. Like, how do you live like that?
I'm gonna let y'all in on a secret, ladies. If a guy doesn't necessarily apologize often, right? Let's say you and your dude are fighting and he refused to apologize. If he goes to the store and he be like, yo, you want something? That's the apology.
That's the apology.
So accept it and tell him you want a bag of chips and move on. Back to the So yes, he held grudges. Homeboy's 4 out of 4, bro. He definitely sounds bad. Did he control you? I'm gonna ask these next 3 kind of rapid fire because they're all connected.
Okay, so
These next 4 actually.
yes.
Did he keep you isolated?
Yes.
Did he treat you like a child?
I mean, if you're trying to keep me isolated, I guess to an extent. I don't think I ever felt like a child, but maybe yeah. Because then I would be like, if I'm gonna do something like that, is he gonna get mad?
Be angry? Oh.
Right? Like,
I had an
it
ex
was like
that used to
walking
tell
on
me,
eggshells.
yo, she used to tell me that right there.
That's
You just
the
triggered me right
worst.
now. Let's move on.
That's the worst thing.
Did he call you names and put you down?
I think towards the end,
Did you slap him? That's not one of the questions.
No,
That's just
I'm
a Uncle Joe question.
I'm not violent like that.
You accepted him calling you names and putting you down?
No, you didn't let me finish.
Because you're upset at me by not slapping him. Go ahead.
No. I think if we would have continued, it would have gotten to that point. It probably would have even gotten like physical. Yeah. He never called me out my name, but he would say things that he knows would hurt me.
Would you be willing to give us an
kind
example?
of to like I can't think of one, but like anything that I was, I mean, we all know, like I can't hide
I
that.
wasn't saying it to be insulting. I have a humongous dome piece. I wouldn't say that as an insult.
No, but if he knew I was insecure about something, he would nitpick at it, right?
Damn.
So that's kind of like going for my self-esteem, right? So
Would he do it jokingly?
no, but going back to the controlling, right? Mm-hmm. And I think I mentioned this on your podcast, or we had a side conversation about it. where if I was getting dressed, right, and I was wearing like a crop top or like something, something like this, he would just walk by the mirror and just
lift
it up.
You did tell me that.
Casually lift it up, right? That is a form of manipulation.
Of course.
To the point that even after we stopped dating,
when
I was getting dressed, like I'd be like, like, and I would get mad at myself because I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
You supposed to do that.
I'm supposed to do what?
Make sure the things is where they're supposed to be.
But his way was like to kind of tell me like I'm not feeling what you're wearing.
I know what he was
you
doing.
know what I mean? Like
I'm just messing with you.
Like I want somebody to be like, damn, my girl looks good.
But you can do both. You can be like, yo, you look good, but your nipples poking out or something. You know what I'm saying?
That's different though. Like it was all the time. Like anything that I was wearing, like he'd be like,
it was extreme. That's the narcissistic
pull it down,
extreme.
or like like little comments, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should change. Like
that sucks, yo. I did that to somebody once, and I
does.
regret doing that. I was like, yo, you going out like that, like to this show? All right. And that was fucked up. She actually looked really pretty that day. That was wrong with me. Did he feel impossible to please?
Yeah.
In what way?
I felt like there was nothing I can do. Like I wasn't enough.
In what way?
In every way.
Like in a partner way? Would it go all the way down to specifics? Like if you cooked for him, would you feel like, damn?
I have to say, so I'm not a cooker. So he was actually cooking for me.
Oh.
I just don't like the kitchen. I don't.
Interesting.
I don't like the kitchen. But anything, like if I try to do something nice, it was like, oh, like there was just never any pleasing. Like I tried and I tried to the point that I was just like, yo, what's the point of trying?
Damn.
Yeah, like everything was taken for granted.
That's sad, bro. Could it have been? Remember, I told you that guys are awkward towards receiving gifts and like nice gestures. Could it have possibly been a little bit of that? I'm making excuses for him because he's freaking 10 of 10 on the narcissist list. So I'm just trying to, cut us some slack, yo.
No, but that's different, right? Like if you feel a certain type, right? But you're still gonna say thank you. You're still gonna like, you're not gonna just be like, like not even acknowledge it. Like it was I was in a really low place.
That's why you put up with it for so long.
No, I put up with it so long because I fell head over heels.
Wait, were you in the low place before the relationship?
No, that's the thing.
Oh, he put you in a low place.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was in a really good place. But narcissists will go for people that are empaths, right? Like I feel like I feel things a lot more than normal people would, right? Like I could see you hurt and like I feel that. Like I'm like, fuck, like I feel bad. Like, I'll see a little kid walking on the street alone and right away I'm like, oh my God, where's his mom? Does his mom not take care of him? Does his mom like I just feel things a lot more.
Right.
And they thrive off of that.
Well, couldn't it just be opposites attract?
No, they hunt. They know who
they
targets.
hunt.
This is not just random. No.
Listen,
right? They do their homework. Yes. They observe the person. They, get as much information as they can before they even initiate a conversation with you.
Correct. It's all part of the strategy.
And they do that even, when they're with someone, right? So when they go through the discard phase, right? Because there's like phases to the relationship. The discard phase is when they're getting rid of you. They've got the next victim already. She's lined
victim
up.
Victim is such an ugly word.
But that's what it is.
But
that's what it is. They've got the next victim lined up. And they've been vetting her all along.
Oh, man. Did he always talk about himself?
No, and that's
the covertness.
That's the covertness. He was actually extremely humble.
He actually didn't do one in public? Or was he humble with you as well?
No, I think with me, he gave himself a little bit of importance, right? But out in public...
Maybe you made him feel important.
I would hope so. But out in public, right? Anybody that knew him, right? Great guy. It's so crazy because there's still parts of me that think like he's a nice person to the outside world.
Well, both things can be true. Someone once told me something very similar, like, you're so nice to everybody but me.
That sucks, right? Like,
yeah, the one person you want to be nicest to. the narcissism within won't let you be. But also the trauma and the history and the pain and the grudges. It's all one big organic ball of confusion.
Yeah.
And it affects the relationship negatively. Did he fish for attention and compliments?
For me?
I think from anybody.
I'm always, like, if you're my man, I'm always going to compliment you. That's just me.
Right.
Even to this day, right? Like, I want my man to feel good about himself.
But I think they mean more so from outside the relationship.
The outside, in a very, like, discreet way, like, he was very private, but in a way that it was just, like, intriguing to multiple women.
That sounds very relatable. The intrigue, the mystery, they be loving it. I don't know why. The less you say, the more they want to know. Was he highly reactive to criticism?
Oh, yeah.
Extremely.
Extremely.
That is a narcissistic trait.
Extremely.
That's because we perfect. And y'all don't,
if
you don't understand because you're not.
Okay.
No. Lastly, last question. And homeboy got like 13 out of 14. Did he treat you like an object?
Did he treat me like an object? I don't know.
Did he treat anyone like an object?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I guess maybe at times, but
I'm gonna ask a question, and you don't have to answer it if you don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
Did he cheat on you?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
We have a cheating episode coming up that I'm not looking forward to.
I am so looking forward. I actually wanted to do that one today.
I avoided that one. There's a lot of triggers. I got to bring a boxing napkin for that. As a former cheater and cheatee, there's a lot of pain there. But yeah, homeboy, you were a narcissist, whoever you were. You got like 14 out of 15 or 13 out of 14. And we were actually going to do this in the reverse where I was going to take the quiz, but there's no point in that because I've done every single thing on this list at one point or another. And I'm actually proud to say that I can realize it and try to correct it.
I mean, I think that's the only thing you can do, right, is be aware of it and then try and handle things differently, right? Like,
yeah, you got to learn, bro. And like I said, oftentimes when you're on the receiving end of the pain caused by a narcissist is when you start to realize, like, holy shit, was I doing this all along to people? And then you can better understand their pain and begin to show some empathy. Like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I was so fucked up on the head that I would ask myself, like, am I the narcissist? Like,
did you go to friends and ask them their opinion?
Yes, but I think at that I was so wrapped up in what I thought was like, you know, this perfect relationship that some of my friends from the beginning were like, no, Lizzie. Like I guess they just felt, you know, and I was like, no. There was one girl that knew someone that he had dated, and, you know, she tried, but she also, you know, was like, listen, you're going to have to learn it on your own.
Right.
You know, and she would tell me things, and I was like, no, that can't be.
The love bomb is blinding.
Yeah.
How long was it before you realized you had to get out of there? You said it didn't last that long. Right?
No, from beginning to end was probably about a year. And there was times I should have left the first time that he, what they call, discarded me. Right? Like, I feel like it's like, that's what it's called. It sounds so bad. But the first time he left, and he probably left for like about a month.
Left like the house? Oh, no, y'all wasn't living together.
Didn't live together.
Left the relationship?
Yeah, completely like.
Stopped talking to you?
Blocked me, like everything.
Guys, fellas, it feels so good to block a girl. But don't do it.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, I went through that whole like withdrawal. Like I felt like a drug addict.
How'd he come back?
I
just a text, hey,
you know,
hey, Mama Les.
Not Mama Les, but you know, just showing up.
Oh man, I've done that, bro.
And actually,
I've done the
not
discard and
even
re-emerge.
showing up, because I think his ego would never let him just like pop up, right? Because you never know if I'm gonna be receptive to that or not.
Well, the narcissist would never think otherwise.
Yeah, but I think he was a little smarter than that. But he would either like put something on social media or like,
the bait.
you know, like
and you'd fall for
me.
it?
I'm telling you, like, I was a sucker.
Ay, Les.
I know.
I laugh because I was on the other end of that. So I know the like the bait meme or you know what I'm saying? When you show a little extra on the thigh meat. And you know what I'm saying? You're waiting for that person to reach out, and then it's the webbing again, bro. It's the spider trap.
That's why I think if anybody is ending a relationship with someone that may have a lot of these narcissistic traits, and I don't want to say a diagnosed narcissist, right? Because most of them won't even go to therapy. But if you have somebody that has these traits and you're getting out of it, go no contact. Completely no contact, block, delete the numbers.
I feel like that's every relationship, though.
You're right, if you want to get past it, but especially, right, and especially depending on the type of narcissist, right, because we didn't even talk about the dangerous, malignant ones.
Well, I don't think we need to go too deep into that. Stay the fuck away from these guys, like, or they are going to kill you. There's not, we don't have to break this down. They are extremely dangerous. They will verbally, mentally, spiritually, physically abuse you, and they may end up stuffing you in a garbage can. So if you realize that you are dealing with a malignant narcissist, and you can tell by the word that they are dangerous, run immediately, cut them off, block them, move on, find a fucking church dude, something, anything, go lesbian, whatever you got to do. Stay away from them. They finna kill you. The covert ones, they are dangerous in their own way because they are on some ninja shit. And
they're very common. You know?
They like this damn drink that Dolly got me drinking. It look good on the outside, but when you take it, it's dangerously spicy and.
But yeah, and I mean, it's hard to recover, right?
As the victim. It's hard to recover as a narcissist, so I can only imagine for the.
I mean, it's a lot of just letting go of like. You're gonna go through anger. You're gonna go through sadness. You're gonna go through, right? Like you're gonna lose your self-worth. You're gonna lose yourself.
You gotta rebuild,
And you have to, rebuild yourself. And then what happens is, then everybody else that you date for a while, you're gonna be like, is that a red flag? Are they a narcissist? Like, right? You're like on high alert. And it's a little hard to kind of differentiate.
But you come back stronger.
Absolutely.
And smarter, right? From all the narcissists, you're welcome.
Of course, a narcissist would say that, like, you're welcome for making you a better woman. For fucking
I'm joking.
Bringing you down to the point that now you have to rebuild yourself.
You know, that's what they do in the army. They break you down to zero and they rebuild you into a strong killing machine. So we do that to y'all to make y'all stronger women. And I'm absolutely kidding. I'm capping. We don't do that, y'all. We do. From all the narcissists, from all the lovers, is there anything else you'd like to add to the conversation? Remember, malignant narcissists, stay the fuck away. Covert narcissists, try to figure them out early. And what was the other one, the Hollywood one? Overt. Overt narcissists.
Those are the ones that are out there, though. Like,
you can spot that.
You'll spot that. Yeah.
Stay away from them, too, because they corny on a different level of cornball.
Like, if you're sitting in a relationship questioning yourself, am I the narcissist? I'll tell you right now, you're not the narcissist, because a narcissist would never question themselves, am I the narcissist? And if you have empathy for other people, you're definitely not a narcissist.
You know where I have trouble or where I debate my own narcissism now today is with the empathy. I saw a video this morning of a kid and some other kids invited him to the park, and they were like, yo, wear your Spider-Man costume. And he was new in the town and he didn't have no friends, and he went in his Spider-Man costume, and then they made fun of him. And I was like, yo, that's massively sad.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I do have some empathy, so I think I'm growing. So narcissists out there, you can grow, you can heal, you can learn, you can become better. Just continue to battle that little narcissistic demon inside. from Mama Les, I am Uncle Joe. Men lie, women lie, and all flowers die. The podcast. Stop capping, and we out here.